most of the best in the world in business or in sports, they have also coaches on the side and mentors on the side. Why? Because they want that 1% of 1% of 1% to get better. But so many times we feel like, well, we don't really need it. Man, I think it is one of the most vital things to our life, to your company, for us as a ministry. We have so many pastors and wise counsel that we go to.
I have a very interesting subject. I call it 5 simple steps to go from average to fortune. How to go from average to fortune. There's 5 simple steps. You might like to make a note of them. Here's the first one. Get serious. That's number 1. I don't know any substitute for that. You've really got to get serious. You don't have to be grim, but you must be serious. I know a guy that's got a half a dozen jokes keeping him from becoming wealthy. He's not known as rich. He's known as a joker, which I guess is okay if that's the kind of life you want to live. But it really isn't the best way to live. To go from average to fortune, you must get serious. And you must get serious about 2 very important things. Number 1 is setting your goals and where you want to go. Designing the next 5, the next 10 years is so vitally important. What do you want to do economically? Where do you want to go? What do you want to be? What would you like to have? What would you like to share? How much would you like to earn? How far would you like to go? Those are some major questions to ask. And for that all to work out like you want it to for the next 5 or 10 years, in my personal opinion, you've got to get serious. Then you have to get serious about another important subject. And that important subject is called personal development. Personal development is striving hard to become the kind of person that you want to be. And to become the kind of person you want to be, you've got to work at it. 10 years from now, you will surely become someone. The big question is, who? What are you becoming? And if you go to work on it now, sure enough, in a very short period of time, you can take on a new direction to become the kind of person you want to be. There's a very important question to ask, and the question is, 10 years from now, you will surely arrive. And the question is, where? So to answer the question of where you want to arrive and the kind of person you want to be, you've got to get serious. So that's point number 1. To make your life worthwhile and unique, to go from average to fortune, you've got to get serious. Now, the second point is, get smart. To make your life work out worthwhile, you've got to have some ideas. You've got to have the information. So you've got to be smart. In fact, in this decade, you must be much smarter than you were in the last decade. You've got to read the books. You've got to come up with the information. When I have a chance to talk to the high school kids, that's the theme of my talk. Get smart. There's nothing worse than being stupid. And if you will read the books, learn from your experiences, do all the things that you possibly can to get the information, sure enough, you'll be wiser this year than you were last year. And I've got a few techniques that I teach in my seminar on how to get smarter, keeping a journal, going to the lectures, going to the seminars, listening to the sermons, picking up ideas from other people. You just must keep up this steady process of learning. Never cease your quest for knowledge. And that's one of the key points to go from average to fortune. Get smart. Now here's number 3. You've got to get going. All of the things that you've learned will not do you that much good if you don't put it into an action plan. You've got to get going. In my management and leadership seminar, we teach game plans, how to put all the good things that you've learned into action. Economic action, social action, personal action. How to make the changes and how to actually do the work, how to actually function. Get going, that's the key. Some people are ever learning, but they don't put it into action. They don't really take the action. It's like the man who keeps bringing materials to the building site and never builds anything. He keeps bringing in the sand and the gravel and the windows and the doors and the roofing material, and he just stacks up all these supplies, but he never builds anything. See, if you do that long enough, fairly soon they'll come and take you away. You've got to do something with what you've learned. You've got to take action. You've got to get going. So that's one of the most important things to learn, how to design your days, how to design your weeks, how to design the months, so that you take the proper action to get the proper return that you're looking for, whether it's economic or personal. Get going. It's a major key. Now here's number 4. You must get excited. And not just the false enthusiasm of just pure positive thinking. You've got to get excited over some very basic things. One is, get excited over your ability to make yourself do the necessary things. Because discipline is major step one toward personal progress. And anytime a person wishes to, they can make major changes in their life, personally and socially and financially. It doesn't ever have to be the same after today. No telling what you could do today if you really wish to. The act of murder is a clear indication that a person in one drastic act can forever change the course of their life. It just happens to be in the negative direction. What I would ask you to do, starting today, is get excited about committing an act that's positive, an act that's constructive, to make the changes in your life that you want made, and to go the direction that you want to go. So that's number 4, get excited. Get excited about your potential. Human capacity is usually never the problem. Little children can learn several languages. We can learn to do the most incredible things. All we need to do is take the time to do it. So it's not a matter of capacity. It's a matter of judgment, it's a matter of excitement, it's a matter of will, and it's a matter of wanting to bad enough. So it's pretty exciting to know that any day you wish, you can change your life. Any day you pick out, you can make major changes. It doesn't ever have to be the same again. And that's exciting. Knowing that intellectually and personally, you can actually do the things that will make major changes in your life. That's number 4. Here's number 5. Number 5 is get away. I have found, especially in the last 15, 20 years, that there's an important thing called life balance. You've got to learn to get away. You must learn to get away and be alone. Learn to get away and reflect. Learn to get away and learn how to live as well as how to earn. How sad it would be to learn how to earn well but not learn how to live well. You must balance your life. We teach something, especially in my staff, I teach something called lifestyle. Lifestyle is how you learn to live your life. Some people have money, but they don't even know how to spend it. They have time, but they don't know how to spend it. Some people are successful, but they don't know how to spend their success. They don't know what to do with it. They don't get joy from it. Rather, they get animosity. A father takes $5, crushes it, and throws it at his son and says, if you need it that bad, take it. Now, it's the same $5, but instead of dispensing it with joy, he dispenses it with animosity. That's the difference in not knowing how to live. It's called lifestyle. Then you've got to take time to cultivate good friends. You've got to take time to be with your family. You've got to take time to be with the people who are important to you, designing your life in those respects. Get away.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
I'm doing good. You doing all right?
Been too long, man. 2 weeks is a long time without my Clay Clark fix. You know what I mean? It's like, wow.
Well, I am prepared to harass you with great enthusiasm.
All right, let's do it, man.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and all right, folks, on today's show, we're talking about how to go from stuck to unstuck. And Jim Rohn, the best-selling author, Jim Rohn, the man who was inspired by Napoleon Hill and who went on to inspire the careers of Tony Robbins and many others. Jim Rohn, best-selling author. Anytime Jim Rohn taught something, I would say I agreed with it probably 95% of the time. And anytime I didn't, it was because it maybe conflicted with my interpretation of the Bible. But Jim Rohn was one of the best-selling self-help authors of all time. And I'm going to talk about 5 principles that he taught for anybody out there that wanted to get unstuck. So Jim Rohn would often get in front of an audience of hundreds of people or thousands of people, and he would teach people how to get unstuck. And we're going to go through those steps one item at a time. And to help provide a little texture for this interview, we're going to interview Dr. Mark Sherwood on today's show. Dr. Mark Sherwood has been successful in the world of fitness as a professional athlete. He's been successful as a movie producer, a film creator. He's been successful as a best-selling author and successful as a doctor. So there's a lot of a richness to the words he speaks on today's show. And so with that being said, Dr. Sherwood, welcome onto the show. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm doing well, Clay. It's good to see you. I'm looking forward to diving into this.
Okay, so there we go. Step number one. There's 5 steps Jim Rohn would teach all of his listeners out there on how to get unstuck. Number one is you have to get serious about your life. And I think that's people might perceive that as mean. People might perceive that as, hey, how come you're not perpetually free with your schedule now? Why is it that you're intentional with your schedule? Why is it that you've become so intentional about what you're eating? Why has it become you're so intentional about what you're eating, what you're going, what you're doing? People often perceive focus as mean or too aggressive. I want to get your thoughts on that. Step number one, getting serious. Why is it important for everyone to get serious about where they're going?
Well, I'll give you a couple examples, real life examples. When I was, in college, there was times before I was a starter as a catcher in college baseball, before professional baseball. I remember a coach told me, I need to step up my training, and he asked me he made this statement. He said, "It's time for you to get serious." And I thought, what do you mean by that? And I was probably looking at him like, a young, immature kid would. And he said, get serious, like you mean business, like it means something. If you want to achieve anything in life, you need to get serious with your training. And so I took that into consideration and put it into practice, and nobody was going to work harder than me from that moment forward. Now, fast forward to this part of my life, where I'm a naturopathic doctor, getting people to do better in life. I've had that conversation with him the same way. When are you going to get serious about your health? Because you have to make the steps necessary to be at your best, whether it be in athletics or health or whatever. And if you're not serious about it, I just let that sit there and marinate a second. You're just not serious about it. It's not seriously important for you. So I think it's a level of importance in what you put and what you place that at in your life that determines how serious you'll be.
Second thing that Jim Rohn would teach, second principle Jim Rohn would teach in order to help people get unstuck is you have to get smart. And someone says, what does smart mean? You have to get very good at, on a daily basis, setting specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time-sensitive goals. You have to become very good at setting specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time-sensitive goals. As an example, today, I'm planning wisteria all over the place. Well, first off, how do you spell wisteria? Someone says, what are you saying? Wisteria. Wisteria is like a vine that grows, and it's a thick vine. Over time, it will block out the view of the road. And so to enjoy the view of the wisteria, I have to get serious about planting that. So I'm planting wisteria everywhere, all over the property. So much wisteria is being planted right now. It's truly incredible. It's wild, and I'm planting wisteria everywhere. Just constant wisteria vines everywhere. Now I'll be able to enjoy the coverage of this incredible wisteria in years, but I have to plant it now. And so it's specific. What am I doing? I want to plant wisteria. Measurable. How much of it? I'm planting 40 wisteria plants. So specific. What am I planting? Wisteria. Measurable. How many? I'm planting 40 of them. Actionable. What do you mean actionable? Well, I have to do it today. Some of the guys in the landscaping crew are going, today? You want to plant it all today? Why do you want to plant it all today? But because it's actionable. I want to get it done today. Realistic. I know we can get it done today. And then that time-sensitive aspect, I need it to get done by the end of today. And they say, well, why do I need to get it done today? Well, because tomorrow there is another landscaping item I'm working on, and I'm very specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time-sensitive. That's not normal for most people. I want to get your thoughts on this. On a daily basis, becoming very good at being specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time-sensitive with our goals. I want to get your thoughts on how you do that and why everybody needs to become good at that.
I'll give you another example, like a color commentary would be like, so the word someday is like saying no day. Today is like no other, man. You do it today. Why do you wait for tomorrow, what you need to do today? And the reason you have to be specific of that and using those SMART goals acronym is because if you're not specific, the opposite of that is general. And so if you have a very specific target you want to get done, that's good. So I have that targets in my own life. Specific. I'm going to go to the gym at a certain time and work out a certain thing with a certain body part, specifically for goals, a certain number of steps, a certain number of sets I'm going to do, a certain period of rest I'm going to do. And I'm going to take my certain number and quantity of my vitamins and minerals that I need to take, and I'm doing a certain thing. And I'm doing that by today, because if I don't do it today, I'm putting off till tomorrow. And so when you have these SMART goals that you set and then you achieve those goals, at that point in time, that equates to accomplishment. And accomplishment is the opposite of just merely planning something without achievement. So you can't just make a plan without doing it. It's like having a blueprint and the materials sitting there without going about the construction project.
It's so important that you get serious about your goals if you're stuck. Number two, you got to get good at setting those specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time-sensitive goals. Step number three, you got to get going. Napoleon Hill, the best-selling author of Think and Grow Rich, the best-selling author of Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, an author I named my son after. My son's name is Aubrey Napoleon Hill. He once wrote in a book called Think and Grow Rich, he said, action is the real measure of intelligence. Action is the real measure of intelligence. I want to get your thoughts on that, because I think a lot of times we if we're not careful, we can just take in information, keep gathering information, keep learning, keep studying, keep getting degrees, keep educating, but not actually applying what we're learning. Let's talk about the importance of getting going.
Well, you got to get going, because you look at the previous one, it's talking about setting smart goals, but then you got to move with them, right? So, because you can take action steps that can be in the wrong direction. Just you can be kind of reactive based and take action that way, or you can be proactive and take action the other way. If you have good steps and good goals, you're going to be proactive in achieving those things. But again, just all talk and no action means nothing to me. I want to make sure that I do something. Words mean zero without the actions behind them. So actions determine really what's going on in your heart when things have set in motion that you have decided you're going to do that are foundationally important for you. The actions you take will line up with that. So it goes right back to the idea of, getting serious, setting those goals, and then you take the action. So I like the way it's coming in sequential order. I think that's very, very smart. And I'm not going to put off until tomorrow what I should be doing today.
Folks, I'm telling you, there's wisdom here. And again, if you want to have success in any area, whether it's fitness or as an author or as a film producer or in the medical space, you can do it, but you got to master these systems. Now, step number 4, you got to get excited. Winston Churchill, this is the man who stood up to Adolf Hitler during the time where Adolf Hitler was obsessed with taking over the world. He was on a homicidal, genocidal tirade. Adolf Hitler was trying to take over the world. And one man stood up to Adolf Hitler. His name was Winston Churchill. This is a man who had served as the Prime Minister of England, and he was kind of in retirement mode. He was done. He had served his career. He was done, and it looked like England needed him one more time. So we got back into the position and stood up to Adolf Hitler, and we know the rest is history. But he stood up to Adolf Hitler before America agreed to stand with England. You see, England had to stand alone against Adolf Hitler, and he once said, "Success consists of going from failure to failure without the loss of enthusiasm." Success consists of going from failure to failure without the loss of enthusiasm. I think a lot of people get excited in the first moment they come into any type of pushback, persecution, negativity, pushback, insubordination, non-compliance. Something doesn't work the way you want it to. Things don't come together the way it was planned. The ducks are not in a row. Things are not coming together. The plan doesn't work the way you thought it would work. A lot of people lose motivation, but we've got to find a way to turn that bitterness into betterness. We've got to find a way to turn that friction into a heat source to motivate us. I want to get your thoughts on this about getting excited and staying excited day by day, minute by minute, every day.
Well, it's easy to start a new project with enthusiasm and excitement until it becomes difficult. And that's what separates really excellence and achievement versus just trying new things. A trier never achieved anything. Triers don't do, they try. But ultimately, doers have done, as you said, and failed many times. You look at Einstein. That guy was one of the most brilliant people on planet Earth, but yet how many times did he fail? The failures that we have really are badges of honor. They're integrity that show that the more you try, the more you learn from those failures, you get back up again, you do better the next time. That's the mark of excellence. That's a mark of maturity, and that's also a mark of what I consider the great successful people. And I appreciate what you said about Winston Churchill, because sometimes when you're trying out there, you're trying to do new things, you're trying to learn new things, you're trying to achieve new things, trying to set the bar high in different areas, even like we're trying to do now in the space of longevity. We're trying new things. Man, you're going to try out there alone many times. And I've said this a long time ago, Clay, and I believe this to this day, and I say it to myself all the time. It is better to stand in the right or in the effort of trying to be right and trying to achieve more all alone than to stand in the crowd that is wrong. So in other words, you got to stand out there and do something different, man, and just be something different, because somebody's got to do that. And so leaders are oftentimes out there alone. They oftentimes work through sorrow. They work through pain. They work through setbacks because they keep coming back.
Final step you want to take is you want to get away. Step number 1, get serious about becoming successful. Step number 2, get smart. Step number 3, get going. Step number 4, get excited. Step number 4, you got to get away. Napoleon Hill, the best-selling author of Think and Grow Rich, once wrote, we begin to see, therefore, the importance of selecting our environment with the greatest of care, because environment is the mental feeding ground out of which the food that goes into our minds is attracted. What am I saying? I'm saying if you're in a spot right now where you're surrounded by perpetual negativity, perhaps you live in a home with perpetual negativity, you might need to move. If you're surrounded in an environment, a work environment, you might need to move your desk. You might need to, if you are self-employed and you're in a self-imposed prison because you haven't decorated your office ever, that's a problem. You want to sometimes get away. Sometimes that involves traveling to a seminar, a conference, a workshop. Sometimes that involves going on a vacation and bringing a good book with you and reading it. Sometimes that involves just going for a walk on a daily basis and changing your surroundings. I want to get your thoughts here, Dr. Sherwood, because that final step is we got to get away. We got to sometimes get away, shake things up, get a fresh perspective. I want to get your reaction there, sir.
Two angles. First of all, we talk a lot about at times about organizational culture. We've talked about that, and I'm going somewhere with this. But when you talk about organizational culture, that's the culture and organization that you set. But what about the personal culture we have? That personal culture is cultivated with the time we spend and the people we spend it around. I find that when my wife and I get away and disconnect, it's my most incredible time to think, rebuild, reinvest in just the creativity, the drive, the excitement about getting back to the work environment again and getting back to the goals. It's a time where you can decompress. When you are surrounded all the time by chaos and noise and negativity, whether it be in a work environment, you got to cut that off and stop that immediately. But you also have to do it in your life, man. I think the biggest example I give people around this a lot of times is the idea of Jesus, who got away. He got away from his disciples. He said, "You all get in that boat, I'll catch you on the other side." And he walked up on the mountain by himself. And I thought that was fascinating. He got away from them to spend time with his Father. So we have to get away all the time. And I do oftentimes. I work very, very hard and achieve a lot of stuff. Like you said, I get a lot of stuff done, just like you do. But we also guard that time, man. I've watched you and you've watched me. When the crowds are done, man, I'm checked out. I'm done. I don't want to talk to anybody else. I'm out. And so I think that quiet time is one of the most important overlooked times that people either do or don't do.
Now, final thing I want to do is I want to transition just for a second, the final 60 seconds we have. Somebody's watching this show and you want to learn how to grow a business. And on part 2 of today's show, we will interview Matt Klein, and Matt Klein's going to talk about how to grow a successful company. Somebody else, you're watching this, you want to get in shape. This is something you want to do this year. You want to get in shape. Somebody out there says, I want to do both. Okay. But if you're out there today and you want to optimize your health, one way to do it is to find a mentor you can trust. And Dr. Sherwood, your website is sherwood.tv. That's the website, sherwood.tv. I'm going to go there right now. Sherwood.tv, folks. Again, that URL is www.sherwood.tv. When you go to sherwood.tv, it'll direct you to the site. You'll be able to find all the solutions that you provide. But for anybody out there that's saying, hey, Dr. Sherwood, how can you help me optimize my health? Tell listeners out there, what solutions do you provide at sherwood.tv, sir?
Well, you're going to go right there to that website. You're going to book a consultation. Number one, that's what you're going to do. And obviously, we can help you. We'll get you in and talk with you and work with you, et cetera. But ultimately, it's about getting busy. It's about being serious with your health. If you're really serious about that, using the word today to play on and tag on to that. If you want to get all the excess fat off of there, you want to maintain muscle tissue, you want to get any unnecessary medications identified and off your system. If you want to get a pathway or a protocol or a plan that's personalized to lead you down a pathway of healing and a pathway of disease resilience, that's what we're for. But we're not for everybody. I want those people that really want good teachers, good mentors to push them to the ultimate, to push them to get the best out of them. And that's what we're going to do. I don't want people that are going to be halfway in and halfway out, because that's not what I am. You won't like it, because we're going to keep pushing you to do more and be more. And but the people that work with us, Clay, and really follow through with all the processes we talk about that completely fulfill the principles you talked about today from Jim Rohn, they have success, not just physically, but also emotionally and also spiritually and also financially, because you can't do well financially usually if you're spending all your money on physical ailments that personally I believe are most of the time avoidable.
Folks, if you're watching this show right now and you're highly motivated or caffeinated or somehow elated, maybe you're just saying, listen, I'm something that ends with the aided sound. You say, I'm motivated, I'm caffeinated, I'm inspired, I'm ready to get going. One way to do that is to take command of your physical health. Check out Sherwood.tv. That's Sherwood.tv. That's Dr. Sherwood. He's a beautiful man, and he's a great entrepreneur. Dr. Sherwood, thank you for joining us today, sir, and we'll talk to you next week.
Sounds great, Clay. See you later.
According to Inc. magazine, 96% of businesses fail by default. What? Someone says, no, they don't. I'm going to pull it up on the screen. I want people to look at it. Assume I'm making it up. 96% of businesses fail, according to Inc. magazine. So let's pull it up. Let's do a little Google search. We type in Inc. magazine. 96% of businesses fail. Inc. magazine. Let's pull it up. 96% of businesses fail. And, that's not a good number. And then the U.S. Chamber has a slightly different number. The U.S. Chamber of Commerce has a little bit different number. You're going to see the local chambers have different numbers. You're going to see all sorts of research that shows the vast majority of businesses fail. However, when you buy a franchise like oxyfresh.com, the business tends to not fail. So what is the difference? Why is it that franchises tend to succeed while most startups tend to fail? Here to talk about it is the franchise brand developer for OxyFresh. He's a beautiful man. He's broadcasting live from the great state of Colorado in the great city of Lakewood, probably. He's Matt Klein on the line. Matt, welcome to the show. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing good. And I want to ask you, why is it that most businesses are not doing well by default? And why is it that franchises do very well by default?
Yeah, I think it's that most people have a good idea and probably have good intentions and they want to grow a company, but they don't realize when they get into it that they have about maybe 20% of what they need to be a successful business. They might have a good idea with no back end office or technology to keep up with scale, or they have a great back end office, but they don't have any ability to get customers, or they don't have a service that people want that keeps bringing them back. It's like, it's always something, right? It's like either you have too much business and you can't keep up, or you don't have enough business at all, or you don't know how to look at your numbers, you don't know how to hire the right people, you don't have the metrics to be able to tell you if you're doing good or bad, right? Looking at your bank account at the end of the month is not a good gauge of how your business is doing, actually.
So let's talk about it. If somebody buys an OxyFresh franchise, so someone goes here to oxyfresh.com, I'll pull up the website. If somebody buys in to the OxyFresh franchise, just like if you buy a Domino's franchise or you buy a franchise from like a McDonald's franchise, there's a system that they're buying into. Walk us through the system, or at least some of the core parts of the system, so listeners out there can understand what they're buying if they buy an OxyFresh franchise system.
Yeah. So they're buying a full business out of a box, right? So from the idea of carpet cleaning to the execution of the cleaning system, having a fully developed product that you get day one, that all the research and development, all the ins and outs with the chemistry, like you get something that's not only been worked on, it's been proven, and we've had, I don't know how many jobs we've done, but tens and tens of thousands of jobs that have been done underneath this actual veil of our cleaning system, all of our products. Then you get into the business, you have a fully developed marketing plan with our ability to build it for you, from Google to Facebook to Yelp to your entire online infrastructure is built for you, to then having the back end office software where you can actually manage your business, manage your employees, manage your customers, right? It shows you all these things that you can actually look at your business with a click of a button instead of trying to build metrics to then look at. So that's already created. We have all of the customer engagements already created for you and already in place, which is the National Scheduling Center, online scheduling capabilities, and a AI bot that will book jobs after hours and on Sundays, right? So, and plus all the training, all the kind of scripts and manuals. So it's a full business out of a box, right? I mean, we can't provide legal help and we can't provide accounting help, but beyond that, we can provide help for everything.
Now, Matt, what I find is people get excited about buying a franchise or buying a business or starting a company. And with OxyFresh, one thing that's great is during your agreement with an OxyFresh, you have to follow the systems. You guys hold franchise owners accountable for following the systems, whereas by default, most business owners are going to drift. They get excited about their new idea, and then over time, they're not following the system anymore. They're not following the process. They lose motivation, they lose momentum, and their business ultimately fails. I want to get your thoughts on this. Forbes reports here. Forbes reports that 45.4 to 51%, depending upon the year, the businesses start, they fail. What am I saying? According to Forbes, only about half of small businesses survive past the 5-year mark, ranging from 45.4% to 51%. Forbes reports right now that roughly half of businesses fail. Huh? Yes, within 5 years, half the businesses are failing. Within 10 years, 96% of businesses are failing, according to Inc. magazine. What kind of accountability structure do you have in place for OxyFresh franchisees to make sure that they follow the system?
Well, yeah, I mean, just the metrics of failure is going to lead them to a relaunch so that they can actually get back on track. It could be that they're spending money with vendors that are not approved, which you can do that, by the way. And we maybe need to retarget that marketing. It could be that they just have a really hard time understanding kind of where they fit in their own business. Maybe they're chucking the truck and they can't get out and they don't trust anyone to do the jobs and they're really kind of hamstringing their ability to grow. Or it could be that they just aren't paying attention to their business, right? They bought a business, they put it in the corner and they check on it every couple of months and it's not doing a good job, right? So there's a myriad of ways that a business can go off the rails. Our job is to not only keep that accountable, but then do something about it, right? Now, again, you know that old saying, like you can lead a horse to water. That is the case here. It's like we can tell you what to do and we can show you how to do it. We can even motivate you to do those things. But there's a reason we have a top 20% and a bottom 20%. It's for those that do and for those that don't, right? So you're still dealing with people's behavior.
Now, Matt, I have found, having met many of the OxyFresh franchise owners, the people that love following systems love OxyFresh because you have a scheduling center that schedules appointments for them. So essentially, if you buy an OxyFresh franchise, I'm probably oversimplifying, but all you need to do is train people to clean carpets. What am I saying? All you need to do is train people to clean carpets and make sure that you wow the customers and gather a review. Let me try that again. If you buy an OxyFresh franchise, your entire career path basically consists of training people to clean carpets. Then you wow the customers and gather objective reviews. That's the you've built it to be so simple that it works. And I hear from franchisees that are successful, they love that. However, I find that a lot of people that are not successful in the world of franchising, they tend to want to be uber creative. Can you talk about how creative you can or cannot be as an OxyFresh franchisee?
Yeah, you can be creative as you want. I mean, you can do jobs for $0 if you find that to be a benefit to your business. It is truly your company. What you can't do is poach on other franchisees, and you can't, use products that aren't OxyFresh's and market in a logo that's not OxyFresh. There are some regulations there, but yeah, I mean, if you feel like door-to-door sales is your bread and butter, you technically can do that. Now, we will suggest that that's a waste of time, or at least if you're going to do that, there's better ways to use your time. But there are people out there that are very successful doing things a little bit differently, but that is not the norm by any means. Right.
When you buy an OxyFresh franchise, how much money does somebody need to put up, and maybe what percentage of potential franchisees need to secure financing? So how much does it cost, and what percentage of people need to secure some kind of financing to afford an OxyFresh?
Yeah, if you're you need $47,900 to become a franchise. If you're a veteran, it's $43,110. That investment gets your entire equipment set up, your entire product package, gets your territory, 7-year agreement, plus a train will fly you out to Colorado. All that's included. Best practice, though, is you still want to have access to about $25,000 to $30,000 once you've invested that to cover, just business operations, like a monthly vehicle cost, payroll, insurance, marketing costs locally, gas, miscellaneous expenses, all those things. Just get your business like operational, then cash flowing, then scaling.
Now, you own an OxyFresh franchise or OxyFresh franchises, so you not only award franchises to people that want to buy an OxyFresh franchise, but you also run, own, operate your own OxyFresh, and you also have a great family. So how do you find time to manage your own OxyFresh? What kind of time commitment does it require for you to manage your successful OxyFresh locations?
Yeah, I'm pretty far into this now. I'll have my sixth employee in about a week or two, and I run my guys pretty aggressively. My guys do about 17,000 to 20,000 a month in sales, each of them. And so you can kind of do the math there with 5 or 6 employees. And I'm spending probably 30 minutes to an hour and a half a day, depending on small increments of helping my employee or taking a call from the scheduling center if there's something specific they need from me. Or, at this point, I got like a bunch of property managers just text me like, hey, can you do this job? Can you do this job? And then, the rest 95% jobs booked through the scheduling center. So I'm spending anywhere between, let's say an hour to 2 hours a day. And it's in sporadic increments throughout.
Matt, I just think owning an OxyFresh franchise or owning a franchise of any kind is perhaps one of the fastest ways to earn financial freedom, yet many people seem to misunderstand what buying a franchise is. Final question for you. Where do people get it wrong? When people reach out to you and they say, hey, I want to buy a franchise or I'm thinking about it, where do people misunderstand it? Because to me, buying a franchise, again, is probably one of the most simple or direct paths to financial freedom that exists. It really is one of the most direct paths to financial success. But I think a lot of people misunderstand what buying a franchise truly is.
Yeah, it is a business that provides the support needed to be successful. It is not a business model that does the work for you, right? Automation and all this is great and it helps you, but we can't hire someone for you. We can show you how to hire. We can't get Google reviews for you. You need to get them. But we can't answer the phones for you and we can build things for you. So it's very much a two-way street. Like the other thing that people really kind of get maybe bogged down is like, it's going to take some time, right? You don't just pay and then next month you're profitable. Like you need to spend a good couple of years running this and getting it good to where you're really, really profitable. Like your first 6 months are not profitable, right? And if you are, you're in the 1, 2, 3%. You need to spend some time understanding your business, getting the right team together, understanding what you're good at. Like some people are great at sales and not at getting reviews. Like our goal is to make you good at everything, but no one comes to us as a polished business owner throughout, right? There's always holes that we need to kind of fill and try to help with. But just know, like, if you prioritize your company, the probability of you being successful is pretty high. If your business is not a priority and it's always sitting over here and you're going to get to it, then the numbers would tell you that you're probably not going to be successful, whether it's a franchise or not, by the way.
Folks, if you want to go to oxyfresh.com, you can learn more about buying an oxyfresh.com franchise. Matt, well, I've got you. Nuggets, Denver Nuggets. What's going to happen with the Nuggets? Are there any big trades this offseason? Any big movement? You're perhaps one of the most devout, focused Nuggets fans. Frankly, when the Nuggets win, it's because you are mentally 100% focused on the team. When the team's losing, it's because your focus is not on the team. The team really wins and loses based upon your personal focus and commitment. What do you see in the near future for the Nuggets?
I don't know if they can do much, to be honest. They paid a bunch of guys a lot of money, some well-deserved and some maybe not. I don't know. If they can find a way to get Jaylen Brown from the Celtics, I think we have a pretty good shot. Anybody else, I feel like it's probably just going to be a swap of talents, but I could be wrong.
There it is, folks. You've heard it from America's number one Denver Nuggets fan, Matt Klein, who unfortunately he was a Division I star athlete. He was a star in high school. He led the state of Colorado in scoring. He went on to play at the Division I level. Some, mainly me, would call him a college basketball star. I was shocked when the Denver Nuggets decided not to pick him up this offseason. And so from the sidelines, he pontificates and shares with us the path to victory. Matt Klein, thank you so much, sir. We'll talk to you next week. Are you looking to start or grow a super successful business? Join Eric Trump, the New York Times bestselling author of The Carnivore Diet, Sean Baker. Join hundreds of real business owner client success stories at the highest rated business conference in America. Join Mel K, Pastor Jackson Lawmeyer, Julie Green, Amanda Grace, Pastor Dave Scarlett, and myself in Tulsa, Oklahoma, November 5th and 6th. Attend the most real, the most authentic, the highest rated, and most reviewed Ultimate Business Growth Workshop. During this 2-day interactive business workshop, you're going to learn everything you need to know to make your business grow. Learn how to generate more sales. Learn how to produce additional high-quality inbound leads. Learn how to create repeatable systems. Learn how to build a successful business. And learn how to do it now. If you've ever wanted to learn how to start and grow a super successful company, this is the event for you. At our 2-day interactive business workshop, we will teach you specifically every step that you need to take to start and grow a super successful company. We will teach you specifically how to get to the top of the Google search engine results, how to dominate artificial intelligence search results, how to market via social media, how to generate more leads, and how to get in front of your ideal and likely buyers. We're going to teach you the step-by-step processes that you need to learn in order to hire, inspire, train, and retain high-quality employees and teammates. We're going to teach you specifically what you need to learn to manage a team of people. We're going to teach you how to manage your finances, how to look at the numbers, and to figure out the specific steps that you need to take to create a time freedom and financial freedom producing business. At the Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive business workshop, we've been teaching entrepreneurs everything they need to know to start and grow a successful company since 2005. In fact, at our 2-day interactive business workshops, we're going to teach you marketing, systems and scaling, human resources, accounting, social media marketing, branding, search engine optimization, sales training, financial management, and so much more. You can learn more and request tickets today simply by going to thrivetimeshow.com. Yes, you can request tickets today simply by going to thrivetimeshow.com. That's the website. Join Eric Trump, myself, and Team America live and in person at the Thrivetime Show 2-day interactive business workshop, November 5th and 6th in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
My name is Kevin Thomas, and the name of our company is MultiClean. We are a commercial janitorial service, and we serve the entire state of Oklahoma and Kansas, and soon to be Arkansas. We have probably grown 5 times. We've added, I think when we first started with you, we had 60 to 65 employees. And now we have a little over 300 employees. Before we got involved with Thrivetime, we didn't really have any systems or processes in place. So I've probably been to, in 6-7 years, I've probably been to 12 to 13 business conferences. And amazingly, each time I go, I learn something new, and I'm so excited to bring it back and show the team about marketing and how to implement.
Okay, Aaron Antis, November 5th and 6th. Guess who's coming back to Tulsa? I will give you a hint. His first name is Eric, and his last name is Trump. Whoa. And his father is the 47th president of these United States. Yes, Eric Trump is joining us once again here September 25th and 26th in Tulsa, Oklahoma for the 2-day interactive Thrivetime Show Business Growth Workshop. But Eric Trump is bringing friends. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Amanda Grace will be in the place. Dr. Stella Emanuel will be here in T-Town in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Julie Green will be on the scene. Mel K will be here to say hey. Dave Scarlett from the His Glory team will be here. It's going to be a blasty blast right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. If you want to start or grow a super successful company, if you want to make your wallet great again or make your wallet great for the first time, if you want to learn marketing, systems, scaling, human resources, accounting, social media, branding, search engine optimization, sales training, financial management, and more, get your tickets right now at thrivetimeshow.com. Once again, that's thrivetimeshow.com.
Hey, I'm Ryan Wimpy. I'm originally from Tulsa, born and raised here. I've definitely learned a lot about life design and making sure the business serves you. The linear workflow for us and getting everything out on paper and documented is really important. Like we have workflows that are kind of all over the place, so having linear workflow and seeing that mapped out on multiple different boards is pretty awesome. That's really helpful for me. The atmosphere here is awesome. I definitely just stared at the walls, figuring out how to make my facility look like this place. This place rocks. It's invigorating. The walls are super, it's just very cool. The atmosphere's cool. The people are nice. It's a pretty cool place to be. Very good learning atmosphere. Like literally want to model it and steal everything that's here at this facility and basically create it just on our business side. Play is hilarious. I literally laughed so hard that I started having tears yesterday. And we've been learning a lot, which, you know, we've been sitting here, we've been learning a lot, and so the humor definitely helps. It breaks it up. But the content is awesome, off the charts, and it's very interactive. You can raise your hand. It's not like you're just listening to the professor speak, you know. The wizard teaches, but the wizard interacts and he takes questions, so that's awesome. If you're not attending the conference, you're missing about 3/4 to half of your life. You're definitely, it's probably worth a couple $1,000s. So you're missing the thought process of someone that's already started like 9 profitable businesses. So not only is it a lot of good information, but just getting in the thought.
Clay Clark is here somewhere. Where's my buddy Clay? Clay's the greatest. I met his goats today. I met his dogs. I met his chickens. I saw his compound. He's like the greatest guy.
I ran from his goats, his chickens, his dogs.
So this guy's like the greatest marketer you've ever seen, right? His entire life, Clay Clark, his entire life is marketing.
Well, people don't know this, but the Trump organization has thousands of employees. There's not 50 employees. The Trump organization, again, most people don't know this, but the Trump organization has thousands of employees. And while Donald J. Trump was the 45th president of these United States, he needed a competent man to run and execute his business plans. Showtime! So the man that runs the Trump organization for Donald J. Trump, as he was the 45th president of the United States and now the 47th president of the United States, is Eric Trump. And so Eric Trump is here to talk about time management, promoting from within, marketing, branding, quality control, sales systems, workflow design, workflow mapping, how to build. I mean, everything that you see, the Trump hotels, the Trump golf courses, all their products, the man who manages billions of dollars of real estate and thousands of employees is here to teach us how to do it.
You are talking about one of the greatest brands on the planet from a business standpoint.
Right.
I mean, who else has been able to create a brand like the Trump brand? I mean, look at it. And this is the man behind the business for the last, pretty much since 2015. He's been the man behind it. So you're talking, we're into 9 going into 10 years of him running it, and we get to tap into that knowledge. That's going to be amazing.
Now, think about this for a second.
But that Clay Clark, man, he is one character.
It's a good word for him, character. Yeah, that is it.
Good, driven, smart. And I've never met a guy who was so hyper all the time. He's doing so much good. And then I met his mother, and she just says, she just lets him be Clay Clark. I mean, so he's endorsed by his mother, and he's doing magnificent work. So it was great meeting you out there and all the people that he surrounds himself with. Clay Clark starts his days at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, it's incredible. Yeah, he's a machine. He's a machine.
But I have problems with my company starting at 9 o'clock. Yes, hundreds of people showing up at 5 a.m. in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Man, he's a leader of a leader. He's a fantastic young man.
No, he is.
The lineup continues to grow, and this is how we do our tickets here at the Thrivetime Show. If you want to get a VIP ticket, you can absolutely do it. It's $500 for a VIP ticket. We've always done it that way. Now, if you want to take a general admission ticket, it's $250 or whatever price you want to pay. And the reason why I do that, and the reason why we do that is because we want to make our events affordable for everybody. I grew up without money. I totally understand what it's like to be in a tight spot. So if you want to attend, it's $250 or whatever price you want to pay. That's how I do it. And it's $500 for a VIP ticket. Now, we only have limited seating here. With the most people we've ever had in this building was for the Jim Brewer presentation. Jim Brewer came here, the legendary comedian Jim Brewer came to Tulsa. And we had
718 people. 718 people.
And I thought to myself, there's no more room. I felt kind of bad that a couple people had VIP seats in the men's restroom. No, I'm just kidding. But I thought, you know what? We should probably add on. So again, if you want to get tickets for this event, all you have to do is go to thrivetimeshow.com. Go to thrivetimeshow.com. When you go to thrivetimeshow.com, you'll go there, you'll request a ticket, boom. Or if you want to text me, if you want a little bit faster service, you say, I want you to call me right now. Just text my number. It's my cell phone number, my personal cell phone number. We'll keep that private between you, me, everybody. We'll keep that private. And anybody, don't share that with anybody except for everybody. That's my private cell phone number. It's 918-851-0102. 918-851-0102. I know we have a lot of Spanish speaking people that attend these conferences, and to be bilingually sensitive, my cell phone number is 918-851-0102.
That is not actually bilingual. That's just saying Juan for a one. It's not the same thing.
I think you're attacking me. Now, let's talk about this. Now, what kind of stuff will you learn at the Thrivetime Show workshop? So, Aaron, you've been to many of these over the past 7-8 years. So let's talk about it. I'll tee up the thing, and then you tell me what you're going to learn here, okay?
Okay.
You're going to learn marketing and branding. What are we going to learn about marketing and branding?
Oh, yeah. We're going to dive into, so many people say, oh, I got to get my brand known out there, like the Trump brand, right? You want to get that brand out there. It's like, how do I actually make people know what my business is and make it a household name? You're going to learn some intricacies of how you can do that.
You're going to learn sales. So many people struggle to sell something. This just in, your business will go to hell if you can't sell. So we're going to teach you sales. We're going to teach you search engine optimization, how to come up top in the search engine results. We're going to teach you how to manage people. Aaron, you have managed, no exaggeration, hundreds of people throughout your career and thousands of contractors. And most people struggle with managing people. Why does everybody have to learn how to manage people?
Well, because first of all, you either have great people or you have people who suck. And so it can be a challenge. Learning how to work with a large group of people and get everybody pulling in the same direction can be a challenge. But if you have the right systems, you have the right processes, and you're really good at selecting great ones, and we have a process we teach about how to find great people. When you start with the people who have a great attitude, they're teachable, they're driven, all of those things, then, you can get those people all pulling in the same direction.
So we're going to teach you branding, marketing, sales, search engine optimization. We're going to teach you accounting. We're going to teach you personal finance, how to manage your finance. We're going to teach you time management. How do you manage your time? How do you get more done during a typical day? How do you build an organization if you're not organized? How do you do organization? How do you build an org chart? Everything that you need to know to start and grow a business will be taught during this 2-day interactive business workshop. Now, let me tell you how the format is set up here. And again, folks, this is a 2-day interactive 15. Think about this, folks. It's 2 days. Each day it starts at 7 a.m. and it goes until 5 p.m. So from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., 2 days. It's a 2-day interactive workshop. The way we do it is we do a 30-minute teaching session, and then we break for 15 minutes for a question and answer session. So, Aaron, what kind of great stuff happens during that 15-minute question and answer session after every teaching session?
I actually think it's the best part about the workshops, because here's what happens. I've been to lots of these things over the years. I've paid many thousands of dollars to go to them. And you go in there and they talk in vague generalities, and they're constantly upselling you for something, trying to get you to buy this thing or that thing or this program or this membership. And you leave not getting your very specific questions answered about your business or your employees or what you're doing on your marketing. And what's awesome about this is we literally answer every single question that any person asks, and it's very specific to what your business is.
And what we do is we allow you as the attendee to write your questions on the whiteboard.
Yep.
And then we literally, as you mentioned, we answer every single question on the whiteboard. And then we take a 15-minute break to stretch and to make it entertaining when you're stretching. This is a true story. When you get up and stretch, you'll be greeted by mariachis. There's going to probably be alpaca here, llamas, helicopter rides, a coffee bar, a snow cone. There's just...
You had a crocodile one time. That was pretty interesting.
I should write that down and actually do that.
Sorry for that one guy that we lost.
The crocodile, we duct taped its face so that we duct taped.
No, it was a baby crocodile.
And it was duct tape.
Yeah, duct tape around the mouth so it didn't bite anybody. But it was really cool passing that thing around and
I should do that. We have a small petting zoo that will be assembled. It's going to be great. And then you're in the company of hundreds of entrepreneurs. So there's not a lot of people in America today. In fact, there's less than 10 million people today, according to U.S. Debt Clock, that identify as being self-employed. So if you have a country with 350 million people, that means you have less than 3% of our population that's even self-employed. Yeah. So you only have 3 out of every 100 people in America that are self-employed to begin with. And when Inc. magazine reports that 96% of businesses fail by default, you have a 1 out of 1,000 chance of succeeding in the game of business. But yet the average client that you and I work with, we can typically double this. And this is no hyperbole, no exaggeration. And I have thousands of testimonials to back this up. We have thousands of testimonials to back it up. But when you work with a home builder, when I work with a business owner, we can typically double the size of the company within 24 months.
Yeah.
Double. And you say double? Yeah, there's businesses that we have tripled. There's businesses we've grown 8x. There's so many examples you can see at thrivetimeshow.com. But again, this is the most interactive, best business workshop on the planet. This is objectively the highest rated and most reviewed business workshop on the planet.
I was looking to learn how to take my business, like they've said today, from being very successful to being systematic. I've got a very successful practice in 3 different cities, make good money. Just want to take it to the next level with systems and processes to where I can drive my cars more.
Paul Hood.
I've been a CPA for 33 years.
And what kind of growth have you and your great team had here over the past, let's say, 5-6 years?
For the last 5, when I met you 5 years ago, we were doing 3 million. This year we'll do 24 million.
Whoa. And you say, Clay, I'm not going to get a ticket unless you give me more. Okay, fine. We're going to serve you the same meal both days. True story. We cater in the food, and because I keep it simple, I literally bring in the same food both days for lunch. It's Ted Escondido's, an incredible Mexican restaurant. That's going to happen. And if someone says, I want more, this is not enough.
Give me more.
Okay, I'm not going to mention their names right now because I'm working on it behind the scenes here. But we've got one guy who's given me a verbal to be here. And this is a guy who's one of the wealthiest people in Oklahoma. And nobody really knows who he is because he's built systems that are very utilitarian, that offer a lot of value. He's made a lot of money in the, it's where you rent. It's short term. It's where you're renting storage spaces. He's a storage space guy. He owns this. What do you call that? The rental,
storage space.
Storage units. This guy owns storage units. He owns railroad cars. He owns a lot of assets that make money on a daily basis, but they're not like customer facing. Most people don't know who owns the mini storage facility, or most people don't know who owns the warehouse that's passively making money. Most people don't know who owns the railroad cars, but this guy, he's given me a verbal that he will be here, and we just continue to add more and more success stories. So if you're out there today and you want to change your life, you want to give yourself an incredible gift, you want a life-changing experience, you want to learn how to start and grow a company, go to thrivetimeshow.com. Go there right now, thrivetimeshow.com. Request a ticket for the 2-day interactive event.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Thomas Crossan, owner and founder of Full Package Media in Dallas, Texas. I've been a coaching client with Clay Clark since the beginning of our business. We started about a year ago, August of last year. I had no clients, no idea what we were doing, no clue really what was going on. And now we've grown to where we've got 6 photographers, we've got office space here. I have an admin, sales person that works for us full time, developing an online system, and a lot of that growth we attribute to Clay helping us. And there's so many things that, his stuff is not, revolutionary. It's not this crazy walk on hot coals and all this stuff. It's just real stuff.
It's going to be a blasty blast. There's no upsells. Aaron, I could not be more excited about this event.
I think it is incredible. And there's somebody out there right now, you're watching and you're like, but I already signed up for this incredible other program called Smoke Your Way to Thin. I think that's going to change your life. I promise you, this will be 10 times better than that.
Whoa. It's like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking.
Don't do the Smoke Your Way to Thin conference. That is, I've tried it. Don't do it.
Yeah, chain smoking is not a viable. It is life-changing. It is life-changing. If you become a chain smoker, it is life-changing.
Not the best weight loss program, though.
Right, really. So if you're looking to have life-changing results in a way that won't cause you to have a stoma, get your tickets at thrivetimeshow.com. Again, that's Aaron Antis. I'm Clay Clark, and reminding you and inviting you to come out to the 2-day interactive Thrive Time Show workshop right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I promise you, it will be a life-changing experience. We can't wait to see you. right here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. What kind of growth have you had since you and I have been working together over these past few years?
3.45 million. I got those stats before I got on here.
So you've grown by 3.45 million.
Yeah, 3,450,000.
Would that be like if you took the combined revenue and maybe doubled it? Have we gone up by
About almost 3, not quite.